Hello everyone, this is Deepan Nayak from St. Xavier's High School, Surat. Today we'll continue with our chapter Hello Alkane and Hello Arene. In last video we have seen the preparation of Hello Alkane and Hello Arene from alcohol. Now we will continue with the another methods to prepare Hello Alkane and Hello Arene. Here is from hydrocarbons. From hydrocarbons we will study the preparation of Hello Alkane from alkane, that is single bonded sp3 carbon, and from alkene double bonded sp2 carbon. From alkane, as we know, they are saturated hydrocarbons. So here we will study free radical halogenation reaction, which is substitution reaction. In saturated hydrocarbon, we always study substitution reaction, and this substitution reaction is followed by free radical halogenation. While in alkene is unsaturated hydrocarbon having one pi bond. That's why here on sp2 carbon we'll add something to prepare haloalkane. So here we follow addition reaction, and we have two addition reactions here. Addition of hydrogen halide, addition of HX, where X may be chloro, bromo, and addition of halogen X2 means Cl2, Br2 to form respective haloalkanes. So first of all, we see the preparation of haloalkanes from alkane. Here, free radical halogenation reaction occurs with alkane. We study this reaction with example. We take alkane with three carbons, CH3, CH2, CH2. This is propane, normal propane. Alkane is heated with Cl2 dichlorine in presence of UV light. In presence of UV light in dark, to give the mixture of isomers of monohalo or complex polyhalo compounds like CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl and CH3, CHCl, CH3. The first product is 1-chloro, 3 carbon containing alkane, propane, and here on second number carbon chloro functional group is present. It is 2-chloropropane. So here we have mixture of 1-chloropropane and 2-chloropropane. This is very difficult to separate these two isomers because they are mixed with each other and their melting points and boiling points are too similar. So we cannot separate them from the complex mixture. And the relative reactivity of this compound alkane depends on the nature of halogen molecule. Means which halogen atom or molecule free radical attacks on the carbon, or which carbon, primary, secondary or tertiary. Means it is also dependent on the amount and the nature of hydrogen, which is primary, secondary or tertiary. And here the order of reactivity of this reaction can be given as order of reactivity is tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary with respect to hydrogen. Means the free radical halogen. Halogen free radical replaces which of the given hydrogen, either tertiary or secondary or primary. With tertiary hydrogen, the reaction is faster, with secondary is slower, and with primary it is very difficult. That's why here we need UV light and it is dark reaction, because the substitution in saturated hydrocarbon is also very difficult and reaction and needs drastic reaction condition. Now here is the reaction of alkane with halogen in presence of UV light. It is free radical mechanism to give a mixture of haloalkanes. Now next we will see the preparation of haloalkane from alkene. Now second method to prepare haloalkane is from alkene, and alkene is unsaturated hydrocarbon, so we follow here addition reaction. First addition of HX, that is halogen acid. The common reaction first we see, this is alkene reacts with halogen acid, that is addition reaction to give addition of H and X. Here X is more electronegative, so according to minus E effect, here positive charge produces and here negative charge produces, and that's why H plus combines with negatively charged carbon and halide combines with positively charged carbon. The mechanism of this addition reaction that we will study later. Now this produces haloalkane, corresponding haloalkane. But here there are two conditions. If we have symmetric double bonded carbon, that means symmetric alkene, or asymmetric alkene. With symmetric alkene there is no problem. Hydrogen can attach with any of the double bonded carbon and halide can attach with the another carbon. But if our alkene is asymmetric, then we have to follow Markovnikov's rule that we had studied already in 11th standard. But here we'll revise it again. So first we see the reaction with symmetrical alkene. With symmetrical alkene. Commonly we use symmetrical alkene is ethene, right? Here two double bonded carbon contains same two hydrogens. That means this double bonded carbon double bond is symmetric alkene. Okay, so it is ethene. In ethene, if we add HCl, H plus Cl minus, so here both carbons are symmetric, that means the electronic cloud density is same on both this carbon, so hydrogen can attach with any of the carbon and chloride can attach with the another one. So we have CH2, single bond CH2, because where the pi bonded electrons are there, we have to add hydrogen and chlorine. So here we have CH3, CH2, Cl. So it is chloroethane. Right? If we label the carbon 1 and 2 same, 1 and 2 is also same. So the nomenclature is also same, 1-chloroethane, because it is symmetric alkene. Now the conditions apply where alkene is asymmetric, that we see in our another example with asymmetric alkene. If we take CH3, CH double bond CH2, first, second and third carbon, that means this is propene. Here, first and second number carbon, 1 and 2 carbon contains double bond. But with first number carbon, we have 2 hydrogen atoms. With second number carbon, only 1 hydrogen and 1 CH3 group. So here, both carbon atoms are asymmetric, represent asymmetric alkene. So here, if we add HCl, hydrochloric acid, that is hydrogen halide, it will give 2 products. In first product, suppose here this carbon is negatively charged and this carbon is positively charged, because here minus E effect occurs. So we have CH3, CH, Cl and CH2H, that is CH3. On first number carbon, hydrogen attaches, on second number carbon, chloride attaches. That's why here we have 2 chloropropane. And this is major product in more amount. And the second one, the possibility of formation of this type of alkyl halide, where on first number carbon chloride attaches and on second number carbon hydrogen. So it is 1 chloropropane, but it will obtain in less amount. Why 2 chloropropane obtained in more amount, and why this one is in less amount? Because here we follow Markovnikov's rule. Now what is Markovnikov's rule? If asymmetric carbon means asymmetric alkene reacts with asymmetric reagent. Why it is called asymmetric reagent? Because here hydrogen is highly positive and chloride is highly negative. That's why it is called asymmetric reagent. If Cl2 is there, it is not asymmetric reagent. It is symmetric because both atoms are of chlorine, right? So here this reagent is asymmetric reagent. And this alkene is asymmetric alkene. When asymmetric alkene reacts with asymmetric reagent, then the more electronegative part of the asymmetric reagent attach with the double bonded carbon, which has less amount of hydrogen atom. I repeat, when asymmetric alkene reacts with asymmetric reagent, according to Markovnikov's rule, the more electronegative portion of asymmetric reagent attached with the double bonded carbon having less amount of hydrogen. Here this carbon has only 1 hydrogen and this carbon has 2 hydrogens. Both carbons are double bonded. So here less amount containing carbon is second number carbon. So more electronegative part attached with the second number carbon. So we have 2 chloropropane, and that's why here second number carbon becomes more stable. The product is more. If your reagent or intermediate is more stable, then the probability of finding yield is more. So here during the reaction, the stability of the 2 chloropropane is more, while here 1 chloropropane obtained in less amount. But someone argued that we need more amount of chloropropane, because in industry it is not necessary every time we want 2 chloropropane. Suppose I want 1 chloropropane in more amount, then what to do? At that time we have to add peroxide in the reaction, and this reaction follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. That means in that case this will be the more amount major product and this will be the minor product. So what to do with this same alkene to get one chloropropane or one halopropane in more amount, that we see in the next example. We have the same alkene CH3CH double bond CH. This is propene. Okay. Now this propene reacts with HBr. Why not HCl? Because in peroxide reaction or in anti-Markovnikov's rule we use only HBr. Because this reaction is very easy to form with bromo. With chloride or with iodide it is very difficult. So in harsh reaction or in peroxide reaction mainly we use HBr. In presence of HBr we have two products CH3 CHBr CH3, but this one will be in less amount, and CH3 CH2 CH2 Br, this will be in more amount if only we add here peroxide. We can use benzoyl peroxide as the reagent. So here for anti-Markovnikov's rule, here we have 2 bromopropane and 1 bromopropane. 2 bromopropane is in less amount if we add peroxide. So in the industry if we want starting material 2 chloropropane, and what to do? We follow Markovnikov's rule. That means no need to add peroxide. But as a starting material, if we need 1 chloro or 1 bromo or 1 haloalkane in more amount, at that time we have to use peroxide as the starting material, and that's why for the initiation we need stable primary reagent. That's why we have primary haloalkane in more amount. So this is very important. Be careful when you get 2 haloalkane in more amount, and if you want 1 halo in more amount you have to use peroxide. This reaction is also known as peroxide effect or anti-Markovnikov's rule, or it is also known as Kharsh effect. So this is very important when conversions are there, and so many conversions based on this type of reaction are asked in board examination as well as in JEE and NEET also. Now the second method to prepare haloalkane from alkene is addition of halogens. Halogens means addition of Br2, Cl2, I2, etc. First we see addition of dibromine. Here we have alkene and Br2. In laboratory, if Br2 is added in alkene in presence of CCl4, we have addition of Br on first and second number carbon, that means double bond containing carbon. So this type of dihalide is known as vicinal dihalide that we have already learned in the classification of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So this is the revision. Here, when dibromine, you know dibromine is in liquid state. Dibromine is added in alkene. We have 1,2-dibromoalkane. So here CCl4 is very important to add. This is laboratory test and this is very interesting test. Here you can see this is unsaturated entity. Double bond, that is unsaturated entity. And here by the addition of dibromine we have saturated bond. So we can predict whether our dibromoalkane is prepared or not in the laboratory. So I explain you one experiment. Here see, alkene is colorless. In alkene if we add bromine water gives brown fumes in the reaction mixture. So by adding bromine water in alkene we have brown color solution and brown fumes appear in the conical flask. Now we stir conical flask or test tube vigorously and thoroughly. After 2 or 3 minutes this brown colors becomes disappear and we have colorless solution, and the colorless solution is of dibromoalkane. So we can predict that our dibromo derivative is prepared in the laboratory. So this one is very interesting and very important reaction also. Why? Because in the conversion, if you are asked to prepare vicinal dihalide, you have to add only halogen instead of halogen acid. In halogen acid, with the use of halogen acid, you can prepare geminal dihalide. While here, you can prepare vicinal dihalide. So, after this explanation, now we see the video of the experiment, which is very interesting. So, I just can say, enjoy the video.
Hello, and welcome to Goofer King Science. Today we are going to be identifying alkenes using bromine water. Here I have 3 test tubes. On the left I have an alkane molecule, in the middle I have an alkene molecule, and on the right I have a fairly concentrated bromine water solution. First I'm going to use a pipette to put some bromine water into the alkane molecule. You can see that the bromine water turns it a dark yellow color. Now let's do the same thing with the alkene molecule. You can notice that when we put in the bromine water, it forms 2 layers and doesn't dissolve like it did in the alkane molecule. Now stopper the test tube and begin shaking it. The yellow bromine color will slowly begin to disappear until it's all gone. You are now left with a cloudy white liquid. Put this back in your test tube rack and let it settle out for a little bit. Here are the 2 test tubes side to side. I'm now going to explain what happened here. When we add the bromine water to the alkane, no reaction occurs and the bromine stays just where it was. But when we add it to the alkene molecule, it attacks the double bonded carbons and replaces itself instead of the double bond, which then makes the solution go colorless because the bromine is no longer just by itself, which lets us know that there was a double bond.
To do a diagnostic test for detecting the presence of an unsaturated system, we add a few milliliters of dark yellow aqueous bromine solution, known as bromine water, to a test tube. Next, we add a portion of the hydrocarbon we want to test for the presence of multiple carbon-carbon bonds. For example, one of the isomeric hexenes. The yellow color disappears when the test tube contents have been stirred, indicating the presence of a double bond in the hydrocarbon tested. This happens because bromine undergoes addition across a multiple bond. As the reaction proceeds, the dark yellow color characteristic of bromine fades because the reaction product, dibromohexane, is colorless.
After watching the video, now we see the third method to prepare haloalkane. That is preparation of haloalkane by halogen exchange method. This method is generally used to prepare iodoalkane, and the reactions are known as Finkelstein reaction and Schwarz reaction. First we see Finkelstein reaction. In this reaction, chloro or bromoalkane reacts with sodium iodide NaI in presence of dry ether to give iodo derivative. The general reaction can be given as this is chloro or bromoalkane reacts with sodium iodide in presence of dry acetone to give Ri. This is iodo derivative and NaX. Now we see the example of this Finkelstein reaction. CH3 CH2 Br. We can take chloroethane also. This is bromoethane. NaI, sodium iodide, is the reagent which exchange halogen. Here bromide is exchanged by iodide. That's why we have iodide derivative in presence of dry acetone to give CH3 CH2I. This is iodoethane, and the byproduct is NaBr. This byproduct is also very important. Why? Because in acetone, this iodoethane precipitate out in the solid form. The precipitates of iodo derivative we obtain in white color. Now, according to Le Chatelier's principle, we can drain out or we can filter out the precipitates of iodoethane. In the solution, we have sodium bromide. For the further next reaction, we can use it again. So according to Le Chatelier's principle, the forward reaction occurs. That's why the byproduct is also very important. Plus sodium bromide are used in so many other reactions as well as in photography also, that you know. Now the second one is the Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction is specially used to prepare fluoroderivatives. Up till now, you have not prepared fluoroderivative by first or second reaction from alcohol or from hydrocarbon. This is the only method how we can prepare the fluoroderivative, and that is Schwarz reaction. In this reaction, we use the fluorides of metal to exchange chloride or bromide which is present in our haloalkane. Now see the example. CH3 CH2 CH2 Br. Here we can take chloro also. This is bromo propane. Now the fluorides of metal, like we can take AgF silver fluoride or Hg2F2 mercury fluoride or COF2 or SbF3 to exchange chloro or bromo from the chloro-bromo derivative to convert that in fluoro derivative. Here if I use AgF in presence of dry acetone, we have CH3, CH2, CH2, F. This is fluoro derivative of our halo alkane. Halo may be bromo or chloro. And the byproduct is AgBr. This one is also very important byproduct, and this is only method to convert bromo or chloroalkane in fluoro derivative. So this is fluoropropane. So here we have seen the preparation of haloalkane, especially iodoalkane and fluoroalkane from Finkelstein reaction and Schwarz reaction respectively. Fourth one is the preparation of haloalkane from silver salt of acid. This is also one of the unique reactions because this reaction is generally used to prepare bromo derivative, and therefore it is termed as Borodin-Hansdiker reaction. Obviously, silver salt of acid means we take the carboxylic acid, the silver salt of carboxylic acid like CH3, COO minus and Ag plus. So here this is the silver salt of carboxylic acid, and 2 carbon containing carboxylic acid is acetic acid. So this is termed as silver acetate. Now this silver acetate reacts with dibromine because we want to prepare bromo derivative from this method in presence of carbon tetrachloride CCl4. This is the solution medium in which the two reactants react with each other to give product, and we have CH3 Br plus CO2 and AgBr. Here CO2 evolves in the form of gas. AgBr is byproduct, which one is very important. Now here you can see from this method we have bromo derivative with 1 carbon atom less. Here we have all derivatives with the same number of carbon in reactants and products. In the another reactions from alcohol or from hydrocarbon, we have prepared bromo derivative. In all those reactions, the bromo derivative has the same number of carbon as the reactant. But here only the reaction where the reactant is of 2 carbon and we have product with 1 carbon. If we take the silver salt of carboxylic acid with 3 carbon, then we have 2 carbon containing bromo derivative. So this one is very important. If you are asked to prepare bromo derivative with 1 carbon atom less in the conversion specially, or you are generally asked the question A dash B dash C, reactants are given on the arrows and you have to give the name of A, B, C, D which are given. At that time you must know this type of unique reactions. In this board you are given 3 reactions which all are very unique reaction, because the first one is used to prepare iodo product. Second is used to prepare fluoro, and third one is used to prepare bromo. And the reaction mechanism is also very important, step by step, where you are solving the MCQs especially for JEE and NEET. So that we will see in the study material which I will attach with this after this video. You have to read that study material very carefully, students. Now we see the preparation of haloarene. We can prepare haloarine by two methods, by electrophilic substitution reaction, which is very common, and the second one is by from diazonium salt, which is very important for the further study, further chapters. Okay, now first we see by the electrophilic substitution reaction. We are going to prepare haloarenes, means we want to enter our halide functional group in aromatic entity. And as you know, in aromatic entity, all carbons are sp2 hybridized carbon, and that's why the electronic cloud is dense on benzene ring, and that's why positively charged electrophile can easily attack on the one of the carbon of benzene ring to substitute one hydrogen and easily enters in the benzene entity. So now we see the example and reaction of electrophilic substitution reaction. The very first step is to prepare electrophile. Electrophile means electron attractor or electro lover. Electron lover or electron attractor is always positively charged ion. So here we want to prepare Lewis acid, because all electrophiles are Lewis acid. So here in presence of FeCl3 or FeBr3 or AlCl3 as catalyst, suppose we want to prepare bromochlorobenzene, it reacts with Cl2, reversibly it will give FeCl4 minus and Cl plus. This is our electrophile, which is called Lewis acid. Now this electrophile attacks on the benzene ring. Here we have arene, aryl, benzene. It reacts with Cl2 in presence of FeCl3 catalyst, 310 to 320 Kelvin temperature, and this is a dark reaction. In presence of dark, we can prepare chlorobenzene plus HCl. So here you can see that one of the hydrogen of the benzene ring is replaced by Cl plus. H plus is substituted by Cl plus, the electrophile, and that's why we have chloroarene. This is chlorobenzene. Another example we take. This is toluene, chlorination by Cl2 in presence of FeCl3 catalyst. See, this is the correct method to write reaction equation. First of all, you have to write which reaction is going to occur here. You can write chlorination electrophilic substitution reaction in presence of Cl2. This is our reagent, and this is catalyst, which is always written in the square bracket, and heating in the dark. If you know the temperature, exact temperature, or it is given, then you can write the exact temperature like this. Now our product will be ortho and para-toluene. Ortho and para-chlorotoluene. This is ortho-chlorotoluene and this is para-chlorotoluene. Here HCl remains in the solution as byproduct, and suppose you don't want to write byproduct here, or the reaction is incomplete. The further step you want to write, at that time the byproduct is always written after the arrow, below the arrow, by writing minus in front of the HCl or any byproduct. This is the method how to write chemical reaction. This minus means the byproduct, never we can write on the upper part of the arrow. At the lower part of the arrow we have to write this upper part of the arrow for the name of the reaction, for the reagent and for the catalyst. Temperature, if you don't have space to write temperature or pressure, you can write below the arrow, but never write byproduct on the upper part of the arrow. Now, suppose I want to continue this reaction. At that time, I will write HCl like this. We cannot write HCl here and then reaction continue, because it means that HCl chlorobenzene further reacts with HCl to give this and this. No, this is wrong. HCl is byproduct. We have taken only chlorobenzene by the filtration, and then for the further chlorination we have to write further chlorination. Cl2 again. Catalyst FeCl3, heating. Okay, now we see chlorobenzene, chloro functional group, halo functional group is ortho-para-directive functional group. So of course for the second substitution or for the di-substituted benzene derivative, we have two derivatives, ortho-dichloro and para-dichlorobenzene, ortho-dichlorobenzene and para-dichlorobenzene. This labeling is also very important. Now this ortho and para, both the products obtained as the mixture in the solution. To separate both this derivative, it is very difficult, because these two isomers or these two derivatives has very closer melting point and boiling point. That's why we cannot separate both the derivatives physically. So here is the preparation of chloroarene and bromoarene using electrophilic substitution reaction. Second method to prepare haloarene is from diazonium salt. This is very important reaction, because in N containing hydrocarbons or N containing compounds, your chapter is there in 12th standard, and in that chapter this reaction is very important, and from this reaction so many reagents you can prepare and so many conversions can be asked from in the examination. So be very careful and please pay attention when I am going to prepare diazonium salt. First of all, we'll see what is diazonium salt. Diazonium salt is not available in the lab. See, this you have to prepare inside the reaction by reacting NH2. The name of is NH2 on benzene ring is aniline. Aniline is the starting material. Aniline reacts with HNO2. This is nitrous acid, which is also not available in lab, that you have to prepare inside the reaction. When you add NaNO2, the solution or powder, in HX, HCl, HBr, so suppose HCl, so you add HCl and NaNO2, and inside the test tube you have HNO2. Now you mix this test tube of HNO2, which is prepared inside the reaction, and aniline, you will have benzene diazonium chloride, because you have taken HCl. But here one more very important thing is 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. This product is stable between 0 to 5 degrees centigrade only. If the temperature raise from 5 degrees centigrade, this BDC benzene diazonium salt decomposes and your product will be black. It should be near yellowish or orange color product, then your BDC is correct. And if your BDC or benzene diazonium halide is prepared correct, then only you can further proceed. Okay, so here we assume that our product is 100% good, and now we prepare chloro or bromo benzene using benzene diazonium halide. Using Sandmeyer reaction, now we prepare chlorobenzene and bromobenzene. Our starting material is benzene diazonium chloride. Here benzene diazonium halide, we have taken Cl minus as X minus. So it is benzene diazonium chloride. The short form is written as BDC. The name I will explain. Benzene, this is benzene derivative. Diazo and triple bond N is called diazo group. IUM suffix is written because it is positively charged, and chloride. So it is called benzene diazonium chloride BDC. Benzene diazonium chloride reacts with Cu2Cl2 catalase in presence of HCl, gives chlorobenzene and 2 releases. Similarly, if in presence of Cu2Br2 and HBr, it gives bromobenzene and N2. So this is the preparation of chlorobenzene and bromobenzene from Sandmeyer reaction. This is most likely reaction. Now we can prepare chloro and bromo derivative using Gattermann reaction, but the reagents are different. So we see now Gattermann reaction. This is N triple bond N plus Cl minus BDC benzene diazonium chloride. Here we just use Cu powder and HCl. So we have chloro derivative, chlorobenzene, and Cu powder and HBr, it gives bromo derivative. Bromobenzene. In both the reaction, N2 is released in the form of gas. So using Gattermann reaction and Sandmeyer reaction, we can prepare chlorobenzene and bromobenzene, but the reagents are different. For the preparation of fluorobenzene, we cannot use Sandmeyer reaction or Gattermann reaction. For that, we will use the unique reaction, that is Beer-Schemann reaction. Now in this reaction, the starting material is again N triple bond N plus Cl minus BDC benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride reacts with HBF4, that is fluoroboric acid, and with the rapid reaction it gives N triple bond N plus and BF4 minus. This is benzene diazonium fluoroborate. On simple heating, it gives fluoro derivative. This is chlorobenzene. BF3 and HCl. So this is quite interesting reaction. While we are preparing benzene diazonium fluoroborate, this is benzene diazonium fluoroborate as intermediate, and on just simple heating it will immediately convert in fluorobenzene BF3, and HCl is the byproduct. Now, preparation of iodobenzene. Iodobenzene is not Gattermann reaction. Preparation of iodobenzene is not Sandmeyer reaction, and of course it is not Weierstrass reaction. So it is as individual reaction we can take N triple bond N plus NCl minus. This is BDC. BDC reacts with Ki, and on just heating it gives iodobenzene plus N2 plus KCl. So here is the preparation of chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, fluorobenzene and iodobenzene. Here is the preparation of haloalkanes using diazonium salt by Sandmeyer reaction, Gattermann reaction, Weierstrass reaction and individual iodification. Thank you.